I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you.
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we talk that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
Here's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I shot it with the Lord.
Touch with all your dishes, pots, and sports knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment in a hotel. You know what I mean?
This here right here is about to be holy ground. This will be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grades. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud.
Even though I don't know you, I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General Yahanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
What's going on, Israel? ISUPK.com is the website. I don't know about you, but I'm so glad to be here with you in this truth at this time, in this age, man. I'm joined tonight by the heavy hitters themselves. General Muhammad in the building, the diehard. You understand? General Micah Allah, the scroll himself. I got names, but I had to stop nicknaming you. General Hazayan, who puts the boots down on you. Oh, bro. Holding us down tonight, man, is Officer Yadiah, man. Another diehard working hard up in here. Him and Officer Ibad Yahya, who's always consistent up in here with us, man. Who else we got back up in there in the camouflage in here? Nakar. Go ahead, Nakar. Big shout out to Nakar's in the building with us as well. We getting it on, man. It's Monday night, man. And there's a lot going on. It's so much going on in this world that is saying all the signs. You know, there was a time where while we was bringing stuff out, they would also be coming back with positive stuff that's going on in this empire. But it's starting to look like the positive stuff they're trying to push is not going anywhere anymore. It's like all negative seems like it's coming out, man. So this first story, once again, this first story we get ready to do is a horrific story about us as usual and about the abuse of us as usual, and a great reminder that we are to never, ever forget about what is happening to us. Once again, you trying to understand the I.S.U.P.K and the prophets of God? These are men that care about their own. These are men that see the suffering of their own, see what's happening with black people, and they understand it. And it's very ironic on a day like this. This is MLK Day. This is the big MLK Christian come together, civil rights, voting rights, equality, God loves everybody day. This is the day for all of that. This is the day and the man that gets quoted whenever white America and black America wants to show or give an example of how we're supposed to unify. So let's go into this story and let's take a look at this. You want to run the footage first, y'all, before he reads the story? However y'all want to run it.
Of what story?
This is the story of a white cop stopping another white cop from what looks like they're about to murder a brother. Okay, and it's significance because this is, once again, can I just ask a question, y'all?
Please.
Who has been saying this for years, that them cops got to stop them other cops that's being criminals when they're attacking black men? I don't know nobody else that said this but us. You understand? We the only ones that pulled out the book of pulled out what John the Baptist told them brothers, man,
yelling at it
about how they were mishandling brothers and sisters. I ain't gonna run on too long. I'm gonna let y'all see this footage, and then we're gonna read some of that story. All right, check this out.
Footage showing the officer yelling at a handcuffed suspect and pulling his can of pepper spray. That's when a female officer grabs him, trying to de-escalate the situation, according to authorities. You can see the male officer turn around and place his hands at her throat. Listen to what a law enforcement expert said about this.
The yoke on him. Like he was like, let me let you go. Go ahead, run it for him one more time. Let behind me see that. Y'all, you saw it before?
No, I never seen it.
Y'all ain't never seen it, man. I saw this. I could not believe it, man. Like, okay, you know what this really showed? This shows the animal in this cat. Like, he was gonna kill something that day. He was gonna kill something. If he didn't get her, if he didn't get the Jake, he was going to destroy something. Run it for him one more time. You have an issue with it? God,
a female officer grabs him,
brother,
trying
go,
to
if you can, go back to
situation,
when they first put the brother in the car. Can you get back that far? I don't know if you can get back there. Look at this animal. This cat should never be on the police force. Ooh. Watch. You're going to see the brother going in the car willingly. Look, we got him.
Pepper spray.
Let it ride. Let it ride. See, he's in the car. He's in the car.
De-escalate the
He's
situation,
scooting all the way in
authorities.
the car.
You can see the male officer turn around and place his hands at her throat. Listen to what a
Look,
law enforcement expert said about this incident. You can see the male officer turn around and place his hands at her throat.
Like, to stop it.
Listen to what a law enforcement
and
expert
probably
said
saved
about
his damn career.
My God.
Right or wrong, probably saved his career.
She was trying to save
That
his
is
career.
ridiculous.
He destroyed his career right there by doing that.
Go ahead.
All that shows, sir, if I could, sir, with just the animalistic, like that blood colored thirst and that lust for, I got to destroy something, like that was being stopped. And whoever stopped it was going to catch it, but stopping it. It didn't matter who it was. You understand? Now, when he come out of it, he realized he done made a big mistake. But it's too late now. You can't control yourself now. You know what I mean? And and everybody told you can't supposed to spray nobody with no damn pepper spray in the back of the damn car. And all that's against policy. And you certainly not supposed to put your partner in a choke If I could,
He put the chokehold on her like you do a broad that piss you off.
Yeah.
He
like a
domestic violence.
Yeah, he was gonna do her like you wouldn't do that with another man. You
No.
spin around on another man, you might try to punch him. But he spun around and saw it was a female.
Oh.
He put the wife beater on her ass. He put the, you know what I mean?
Like he needed some time to turn it off. He was
Yeah.
trying to put it on Jake. They get away with it all the time. Then he turned around and he released it. Had to give it.
Had to give it
and caught himself.
Yeah, right. Like it looked like he was. One more time, if you could, you die. It looked like he was bewildered. When he turned around, and saw it was her. It's like his brain got confused for a minute. And this is another cop. He thinking this is a perp. He was tripping.
Showing the officer yelling at a handcuffed suspect and pulling his can of pepper spray. That's when a female officer grabs him, trying to de-escalate the situation, according to authorities. You can see the male officer turn around and place his hands on her throat. Listen to what a law enforcement expert said about this incident.
Whoa, good night.
Look at his head. He ran his shit.
About this incident.
She like, can I say something to my white friends? White people, please, let the robots police us. Just invent the robots and let the robots police the black community. I'd rather have RoboCop. I'd rather have that thing RoboCop fought. The big thing with the guns. I'd rather have the dog robot. Anything but this white man who is out of control. Just let the robots police black people before Christ returns. Salakia, sir.
God.
I mean, damn.
Right,
He gonna kill the criminal and the other cops.
Yeah.
He gonna kill everybody there. He's an animal. Right?
God. Oh man,
Ooh.
like, come on. You gonna say this a lot.
And just, that notion that the world talking about not all cops are bad. And like you said, we the only ones been saying if there was a good cop, they would be going to war against these cops doing this all the time. But you see how many police were there, right?
Right.
And nobody pushed him off of her.
They was gonna They was gonna let him
You know
spray
what
the pepper spray,
Yeah.
and then they wasn't even gonna stop him from
Choking her.
putting her in a deadly choke on.
I ain't get that, my. I guess other cops there watching him choke her.
Yeah.
Like nobody is grabbing his arm,
Yeah.
saying, "Don't choke this woman cop out here," in
Right.
public," because he knows what'll happen to him.
Yep. Yep.
Whoa!
Yep.
Everybody
When did
knows
this
the
happen? When was
This just happened.
In what
it's-
city?
Oh man, can you pull the story? And here's what they said, if I could. They said since George Floyd, big shout out to George Floyd. You know what I mean?
Right.
For what he suffered for
Yeah,
us. You know what I mean? Like that's who the people we should be making heroes in the ghetto instead of MLK. You know what I mean? You going some cat that sold us down the river. We still fighting for voting rights for. When George Floyd did more to advance our rights than MLK did in 70 years. You know what I mean? He did more, but it cost him his life. A video camera in his life is what it cost him, because here's what they said. And when you get the info on that city, let me know. Go ahead, Ibad.
Sunrise, Florida.
Sunrise, Florida. Here's what they said. They said that their new policy was to train. She's a new cop. And they said their new policy was to train the new cops on how to de-escalate even other cops who were, out of control. Like that's part of their new mandate. That's why she took off so fast. Like she read it, bam, and she like. And once again, if I could, y'all know this. That is proof that they could have properly trained these cops all along.
Yeah.
Like, because she didn't have time to think about it. She saw it and took off.
Yeah.
And that's how they react when they killing us. Like she reacted the same way they react when they was killing us. Because, brother, he was inches away from pepper spraying that brother. And she hit him dead on time. Go ahead. Somebody was going to say.
And it didn't even look like he was one of the ones that put him in the car. It was a few other officers put him in the car.
Yes, he was
in the car.
He was braking to get to it. God. He didn't even put him in the car.
What they go through, Generals, when you in a chase or dealing with something, they adrenaline get running so high. I've been through it where it's hard to come down from it. So the adrenaline be so high, then you got to be able to release it some kind of way. Like you ready to go and release. And him getting there, no matter, I don't know what happened with the young cat, but it got him to a point where he was ready before he got there. and he had to let it out. And that cat was the reason, or was the let out for him. And when that girl grabbed him, not you.
She cut the adrenaline off.
And that's why those cops like this got to go to jail.
Yes.
And they got to never be allowed cops, because can you imagine a cop who's giving the excuse that it's adrenaline when people on a basketball court or a football court, football field, they all hyped up, but there's a referee that gives them a penalty. If he swings on somebody or if he breaks the rule, there's somebody there that says, hold up, you excited, but 15 yards,
you went
a
too
foul.
far.
You fouled him.
Right.
These bastards won't be fouled. Like they won't take any penalty. And this is about life and death.
Yes, I was waiting for that.
This is about life and death, but they won't be refereed
at all.
Like they won't even be curtailed. I mean, it's like a basketball player that just knocks your teeth out.
Yeah.
And just refuse and then knocks the ref's teeth out.
God damn.
and everybody got accepted.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. That is crazy, man. Go ahead, you die slug.
If I may, sir, I had a question. In regards to the, even though the devil did try to, help save the brother, will she lose her job the same way that sister lost her job for saving that brother from that chokehold in 2004, I believe, sir? What that was for that sister lost her job?
Could, sir. It's a new time because of George Floyd.
Yeah.
It's a new time because of George Floyd.
Yeah.
And in that sister's case, supposedly she endangered the officer because he was supposedly under a deadly threat from the brother, which is all BS. But in this case, it's irrefutable because the brother was handcuffed and in the patrol car, and he had the mace out. So it's clearly he was getting ready to assault this brother for absolutely no reason. And once again, this is the most important thing to take away from this, is that this could have been done 50 years ago. Right. Like it all of a sudden after George Floyd, all the new cops getting trained to stop the other cops. And here's why. What's really going on is, once again, why you got to stand up in the truth. You got to wake up and stand up in the truth. Here's what's really going on. What's really going on is the mayors, them city council members, they are afraid of the lawsuits. Cameras everywhere. They are scared to death of the lawsuits, and they more scared of riots and protests in a city. They more scared of that because then people lose jobs, money gets divested out of the cities. That is what is changing. Believe you me, George Floyd dying didn't change it. George Floyd dying helped us expose the evil of these bastards. But George Floyd dying is not what made them change their policies. What made them change their policies is just what you mentioned earlier. Them being hurt in the goddamn pocket. Right or wrong? Them being hurt in the pocket is what made them stop doing what they're doing. So now it's beneficial to them if they could do that. Like, because they did that, that brother does not die. There's no lawsuit. They ain't got to pour out millions of dollars to his family. They ain't got to explain in the press what went on. They ain't got to have stores burnt down. They ain't got to have all the usual that comes with it. So because of it, they'll train that cop the right way now. They'll train that cop and they'll punish that sergeant for doing what he did. And like you said, I saw it firsthand. I always tell y'all this story. Growing up, brother, I'm coming back from getting gas. My car run out. I'm young and, out hanging out. And, brother, one of my homeboys I'll never forget, a lime green Chevy Nova, brother. Back then it was the bomb, you know what I mean? He's flying down goddamn Castle Hill Avenue, brother. Banked around the corner, police coming after him. They throwing nightsticks at the goddamn car. He laughing at them. Finally, they called him off, brother, and stopped. Had to be 15 feet, 20 feet from me. They stopped him. They dragged him out of that car, brother, and it looked like the entire 43rd precinct fell on this brother, man. He was never good after that. They beat the brains out of this brother, man. His head was never right. He never walked straight again. I mean, they was beating him out like it looked like when sharks attack something. When sharks attack something, they just stand up. I could not see this brother on the ground for the visceral anger of these cops, all because he was, speeding in his car, joyride. He was out of line. He was wrong. He broke the law. Exactly. He didn't deserve to be maimed for the rest of his life. I mean, they was they was beating on him. That other cars, while they beating him half to death, other cars was pulling up. Jake and Esau, male and female, and they was jumping out like "Save me some," and jumping on them and beating the hell out of him. And that shit woke me up because, of course, I'm in the back of a patrol car. They helping me get gas for my car. So I'm thinking as a young kid, oh, this is real nice. You know, I'm shocked, like, oh, maybe the cops ain't so bad. Brother, when they fell on my friend, the cops that was taking me to get gas told me, get out the car, walk. I get out the car, they go and jump on him and beat him half to death. The same bastards taking me to get gas. I'm out the car going the other way, watching these animals beat the living crap out of him. And then 2 other cops stopped me halfway up the block, grab me up and bring me back to the scene. Like, what about this dude? Who is this kid? Thinking I'm in the car with my man. And at that point, I'm like, these are monsters, man. And don't ask me to forget about it. Why you gonna ask me to forget about what I saw with my own eyes? That was a level of inhumanity, man, that should not exist on the planet, and damn sure shouldn't exist from a people who served you for 400 years and built you the greatest empire you ever had, who fought every war for you, built every building for you, nursed your grandmother and grandfathers back to health, took care of your old, babysitted your young, washed your goddamn floors. And this is how you repay them. You so angry with them that you gonna beat their sons to death for the littlest infraction. Damn that, man. Let Christ return, and whatever got to happen, let it happen in the name of Yahweh GEN.YAHANNA, brother. Let him get twofold for this evil, man. Because he was going, that pepper spray could have took that brother's life. He's young, so being young, he might have survived. But it would have still been horrific for him. He would have never been the same after that pepper spray going up inside him on that level in the back of a patrol car. He didn't even care about the cops who got to drive that car after the incident. And I've seen that spirit on them. And it is they don't care at that point. They will murder you out of their anger. And so now it's costing them cities enough where them bastards now got to say, yo, we got to change our policy. And don't act like it's love, because that Churchgoer from the Midwest out there where Zion Quadash is at. Big shout out to Zion Quadash. What city is that he out there in?
Minnesota, sir.
Minnesota. They've been fighting and struggling against that racism for years. And that broad who ran for president, Churchgoer, they said for years, just like the vice president, she was refusing to prosecute tons of allegations of cops abusing black men. Like, our life, man. You get in your car, you got your life in danger. And they never experienced that. Ain't no other nation even remotely experiencing that. But we experiencing it because in America, you allowed to hate us you allowed to vomit on us every ounce of your frustration and anger, man. And thanks be to the Lord that he's in heaven and we on earth, because he understands justice, and justice will be served on all empires of this earth that fought against God's chosen people. You didn't fear God enough, so now you're going to get God since you didn't fear him enough. Now you're going to get a taste of him, man, with this right here. So lock it, y'all.
Yeah, if you spray that pepper spray in somebody's face too close, you can just, if you hit him in the face, you rip their cornea. You can blind him. That boy could have been blinded. That pressure from that spray can hitting you close to the face can blind you in the eye. It'll tear your whole cornea up.
Listen, them beatings, when we talk about the murders, that's bad enough. But even the beatings is way excessive. Way excessive, man.
One day, I was working one day. We had a call. It was a hot pursuit. They on 76 in Philly chasing this cat. He flying. There's a couple of them in the car. Don't even market to get out run. They catch one of them. I'm going to go down there. I'm in the paddy bag and roll down. And I get there. They in the middle. Everybody know Market Street going down. About right before the post office is now the IRS building. They right in the middle of the street. The cop car having the car. And all you heard was the boy holler. And you heard the cop. You heard like this. And he hollered, ah! He hit him. And the brother in the front of the car sitting there. I pull up like, yo. I look up, I see camera. I said, man, yo, tell that boy what the hell is this? Stop that shit, man. I said, listen, I'm gonna tell you what, if you don't stop your partner from what you're doing right now, right? I'm gonna get the car, I'm gonna stop my motherfucking self. Oh, damn, that's like yourself.
Don't worry about
And I said also too, I ain't going down for this here. I'm gonna testify against you and him. He looked at me and was like, I said, yeah, man, you are tripping, man. You got the boy, it's done, it's over. What y'all doing? He got the car. Like he took his time to get the car. I said, all right. And then he grabbed his partner off of him.
Like,
but took the time.
Yeah. He
Like
vexed. He vexed that you even stopped him
Yeah.
from halfway possibly murdering this brother.
Yeah.
And that kind of anger and rage, you can't measure. Like if you're dead choke another cop and a female cop half your size, then you ain't got no off button on this brother you about to attack. You ain't got no off button. Like probably in his stupid ass mind, he probably thinking pepper spraying this brother was mercy compared to what he really wanted to do to this brother. Yeah. You understand? Which is why you're going to tell me about what? About joining what religion? About what you claiming to do with God? About MLK? You want to tell me about that? Damn all of that, man. Common sense say black men, Latino men, and Native Indian men, you to come together in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's your only out, man. That's your only out in this stupid nonsense that they doing to us, man. Because that was crazy. But we're gonna get off it right now. But I tell you this much. I'm thankful for the new policies that they got now. Thank y'all for the new policies. Next time, hit him with the nightstick. You understand? Bust him upside the head like you do us. Okay?
Hit him with that taser.
Hit him with that taser. That's what she should have hit him with.
Or that other thing.
Or the hot shit.
Another junior cop should have ran up and headlocked him off the wall.
God, you know, maybe you're right. They sat up there like she was in violation. You know what I'm saying?
Because in their mind she was, because he does this all the time. Like he that kind of cat that does this, and everybody know it. That's why nobody moved on him but her. You know what I mean? And then when he moved on her, nobody did nothing because they know that this is that type of cat. Everybody know who he is. You know what I mean? They know who he is in the station, know how he rolled. So they knew what was going on. That's why nobody said nothing to him or try to stop him when he went at her. They know what kind of man he was.
And that's why he did it, because he know they know.
Yes.
What type of man.
Come on.
She pulling back. He turned to see it's her like, oh, you don't fucking know
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You like, you know what I mean?
Right. Like they all know he's a sergeant too. They know all the respect him while he's being, which show you that's common he's doing this.
Yeah.
Like this is a criminal. He's commonly assaulting suspects. He's a goddamn criminal. One scripture, if I could, I buy real quick. Isaiah 41:17. Read that right quick, and I'll get up off it. I know we ran on this for a minute. We got some nothing but hot stories coming up. Man, we got the Russian deal going down, which is heavy. Definitely, we're going to talk about this MLK and your pastor that spits on you. Damn, you big dummy. Like, how you go home to your wife after that? You go to church with your wife. Your pastor spit on you. And then you got to go home with your wife. My wife would put me out there. Nigga, you got to get there. You ain't no Israelite. You got to get the hell up out of here, man.
I don't know how you live with yourself.
Yeah, you know,
right. I was arguing with my brother when we was young, and he hawk spit in my face.
God.
Listen, hit my head, the general.
Ow!
I felt it. I could have died. I could have actually died. He wanted to fight because of that shit. I was done. I was like, I ain't wanted to run down. Oh my God. It was, I don't know how you walk away.
You could have wiped him
Oh
out.
my Lord.
Took his life.
He's my enemy for a good year. So,
God, you know, man. The level of disrespect. We're going to come to that in a second. Go ahead,
Khan. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire
No. Isaiah 41:17. This scripture, the reason I pull this scripture out is because once again, when you see all of this, you better, you still not getting it, y'all out there. You supposed to be turning to the Most High like we all did in here. Big shout out to everybody in the I.S.U.P.K, brothers and sisters. Like we just, like you could use common sense and get where the hell you need to get to. And this scripture right here brings the point home for all of us. Go ahead, Al.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 17. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Lord, will hear them.
When you get just driven into poverty, and you hungry and thirsty, and that's on so many levels, being up under these nations, the Lord said, I, the Lord, will hear them. Go ahead, Op.
I, the God of Israel.
Not your Christian God, not your white Jesus, not your God have come in all colors, not your Islamic, not no Arab God, not no East Indian God, not no Oriental God, not no Chinese, Japanese God, but I, who? The God of Israel. Okay, 41:17. But I, the God of Israel. Go ahead.
Will not forsake them.
Will what?
Not forsake them.
While we down and in this situation we in, and them supermarket shelves is going empty, that's who's not gonna forsake you, man.
Damn right, Joe.
That's who's not gonna forsake you. These black leaders and black preachers, man, the first sign of coronavirus in 2020, brother, they locked the damn church up.
Damn right, Joe.
First sign of trouble, they locked the church up, took their booty and carried, meaning their money, their treasure they got off of you, and dragged their bag on into a cave some goddamn where, and basically told you to stay behind. But the Lord said, I will not forsake you. And he made it specific. That's why I pulled this scripture, because he made it specific which God he's talking about. Not every damn God. Y'all praying to everybody else. It ain't but one God that won't forsake you.
That's right.
Read the last part of that line I bought.
I, the God of Israel.
The God of Yasha-Allah. The same God Abraham made a covenant with. That's the God that ain't going to read on.
Will not forsake them.
Will not forsake them, man. And in this time we in now, you better find that God of Israel like all of us did. Big shout out to everybody rolling with the I.S.U.P.K, man. Like you better find that God that will not forsake you, man. You understand? Because every other God have definitely forsaken you, and their prophets have forsaken you. Somebody find me one of them scriptures where the Lord talk about how their prophets have left the sheep. How they left the sheep. The water. Go ahead. He pulled. Oh, you have one?
I'll look for it.
No, I think he got it.
Okay.
There's one more, and I'm gonna get up off. I know I'm burning the time down to the ground, but I'm gonna run. It's MLK night. We might run a little 15 minutes over so I can let the generals bring all these heavy points out. Read that out, Bob, real quick.
This is the book.
You going to Jeremiah? Go ahead.
This is the book of John, chapter
okay.
10 and verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
That's Christ. That's Yahushua. That's your king. Not no bitch-ass Christian preacher. Not no gay-ass Jerry Curl wearing, alligator shoe wearing MLK nigga.
That's right.
Okay? Those are real men of God, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Verse 12. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not.
Right. The sheep, they don't own the sheep. They just eating off of the sheep. Right. They don't own the sheep. They don't even care about the sheep. They eating off of the sheep. And when the eating ain't good, they out. That's your pastor in your church. When the eating short, they gone. Go ahead, Doc.
Seeth the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep.
He seeth the wolf coming and leave the sheep. Yeah. I.S.U.P.K, brother, we ain't put this torch down. We ain't leave the sheep. Sir. You understand? Right, we ain't leave the sheep. We stayed on this thing, man, and built this thing back up. And big shout out to the generals up in here right now. Man, like they are icons in the work of the Lord. And if not for your pride, you'd know it, and you'd be doing the will of the Most High, and you'd humble yourself and gain from it. Everybody around the world know they turn on I.S.U.P.K, man, and nothing but treasures and knowledge coming out to them all over all camps, from the youngest trooper all the way up to General Muhammad. They dropping nothing but super jewels on you. You understand? They have Christ have not forsaken you in this time. Every problem and issue and thing you had to do to get through this fire, the Lord done gave you in multifaceted ways. You understand? So go ahead. Let's finish it, and I'm going to get up off it because I know I'm running. Go ahead.
And fleeth, the wolf catches them and scattereth the sheep.
Right. The wolf catches them out and scatters the sheep. That's how we ended up in this condition in the first damn place. Mm-hmm. You understand? We ended up this way, man, for men turning their back on the Most High. And the Lord is the one that's going to be with you, man. You know what I mean? 2022, they still trying to beat the hell out of us over nothing. Mm-hmm. Is that it? Let's keep going, man. Where we going next, y'all? Salaki for running that one so long. Sure.
Tulsa pastor Michael Todd rubs spit on face of churchgoer.
Do you have footage of this? Please, I haven't seen it. I heard about it, but I have not seen this here. You got sound, Bunny Chan? Give me a, let's see, what is this about?
Changing something and you don't see it clearly yet, but you hear.
Can you make it big for us? Well, no. Don't worry about it.
And this is where most people would not face Jesus anymore. What most people would do is turn away.
This is so gay.
What I'm telling you, is just as he's physically standing here, knowing what's coming, God's saying, can you physically and spiritually and emotionally be able to stand? When getting the vision or receiving it might get nasty. I'm going to say it in a point just like that. Receiving vision from God might get nasty.
So gay.
You mean, God, I just bought in crazy faith. I just bought my dream car. And now you're going to ask me to sell it back and ride in the hoopty again? Yeah, because the vision I'm about to give you, it might get nasty.
That is so gay.
And do you hear and see the response?
He rubbed it in the gums. Mine couldn't watch.
I had to turn my head.
Like that is a gay relationship right there. Like that is, you know, man. Like what a minstrel show. What a disgust. Like so now, oh my God. Like it's so much in that. So now black people, in the wake of Edomites raiding the Capitol, joining Donald Trump, becoming as racist as they could be, cops beating and killing black men, the rise of Nazism in this country. Even the FBI said the greatest threat in America right now is domestic terrorism by middle-aged white men. And now this piece of garbage right here is telling you to be humble enough for somebody to rub their spit in your face. Like that is you might as well call that the church of homosexuality, because that is again, once again, bending you all the way down underneath the bastards who's trying to wipe you out on the face of the earth. Y'all jump in, please.
If I could, sir. Please. This is how preachers, pedophiles, fraternities, and bullies warm you up for sexual contact. This is foreplay. That's what this is. This is him prepping this man for foreplay. They do it all the time. They find something that's not sex, but it allows your mind to say when he has sex with you, it's not really sexual.
Yeah.
This is not really about sex. Let me tell you, this video is disgusting. But those of you out there who have been in fraternities, you've done worse than this.
Yeah.
You've done worse. And you should be talking about it. A lot of you brothers and sisters who've been in those black fraternities, you need to talk about all of the spit you took in your mouth. You took a lot of spit in your mouth. You had a dildo in your mouth, and you put a dildo between your butt cheeks. Why? It wasn't sexual. That's not what it was about. It was about brotherhood. It was about fraternity. It was about, believing in Omega Psi Phi and believing in Kappa Alpha Psi and believing in Alpha Phi Alpha. God. It wasn't sexual, Mayak. And this man spitting in your mouth is really not about sexual. It's really showing you that God sometimes gets nasty. Well, how else will God get nasty? God is going to get real nasty in that church. Real nasty. And so now when you're on your knees sucking his penis, this is not sexual. You think this is sexual, but that's because of your closed-mindedness. So you don't know that God sometimes gets nasty. You're sucking his penis to break down the barrier between man and God, to allow the spirit to come into you and for you to not have those hang-ups. Men have hang-ups about things, and that blocks you off from really communicating with God. And this is foreplay. And also another thing, sir, this cat up here, okay, he's up there doing this in penance for something. Yeah. Like there's some reason that now he's been told, if you don't want the police to be called, if you don't want to be kicked out of the church, if you don't want this to happen,
you don't want to be exposed on how gay you are,
then you'll come up here and you'll allow me to rub spit in your face to show everyone that they can't have those kinds of hang-ups. And this is what your child molester does to you. This is what Michael Jackson used to do with the Jesus juice, which is what he called it.
Yep.
He called it Jesus juice, and he would give those kids wine and let them watch pornos. Was it because of sex? Of course not.
Right.
He would sleep in the bed with the kids.
It was innocent.
It was innocent. It's never about sex. That pastor of that church is a flaming homosexual. That man doesn't quite agree with it. He won't all the way have male sex.
Exactly.
He's kind of halfway masculine, probably trying to hold on to some masculinity, really, which is blocking God's blessing from him. And so he has to take this spit in his mouth to prove his faith. And if you're in a black fraternity, you did the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to watch this. You black fraternity members then suck the spit out of a man's mouth.
Yep.
You've gotten on your knees and put a dildo in your mouth. And you should be calling in now to talk about it. You should tell everyone, as disgusting as this is, everyone in a black fraternity, you had to do something nasty to join that fraternity. You preachers, you're doing it by, religion every damn Sunday, but they're not the only one. The fraternities, the preachers, the Boy Scouts, forget about them.
Military.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Esau's military, all of you are riding on some man's face, teabagging him. As you're teabagging your comrades, it's not gay. It's really wrestling, Haas.
Bonding.
It's bonding. It's male bonding. Yeah. And you got to get a little nasty to male bond, so you wrestle him and put your scrotum on his chin, and there's nothing gay about it at all. All these organizations are softening men who don't want to be gay to be gay and never think they're gay.
Yep.
It's foreplay.
Yep.
It's foreplay. Salaki Maya.
And the speech was such. So it was reverse psychology. You know what I mean? Some men would turn away. That's like some men would walk away from God and be weak.
You're right.
Punks.
Because he don't let this shit happen to him.
Yeah. But it's just getting them ready because this is going to be disgusting, and he knows it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But he loves this disgusting, nasty stuff. He's a homo.
Yeah.
And just getting his brother's mind ready for when it happens. It was horrible, horrible. Just like and listen, if I want to jump ahead,
Come on.
but just those famous words for MLK, I'm effing you for God,
That's
right?
what he said.
They put it on the Lord.
Yeah, that's what he said. MLK, when he was having sex with them white girls, it was for God. It wasn't just that he was a pervert.
Right.
And this is all sexual. And remember, preachers are really just carnal animals. They don't have higher thoughts.
Yeah. Hell no.
It's not like they don't even think about things on a higher level. So as they go to church every Sunday, they're just trying to get money and sex.
Yeah, that's all.
It's like any animal wants to eat and procreate.
That's
Come
it.
on, come.
They just want to have orgasms and get money. And as he's in there, this man who's up here, he's picked for a specific reason. It's him.
Yep.
There's some reason that he needs to show his faith because he's had a lack of faith in the past.
Yeah. If I could, sir,
Please.
if you watch that brother that was on just now, right? Okay, he was psyching himself up to be able to take this. Now he had to put silent and a look of a cat who may have been a strong cat in the world, like
Of course.
cat,
Yeah.
like there's a strong cat, like in the world. He's psyching himself to get that. Like that's a direct attack against all the masculinity that's left in the black community. That's why he's up there in all black with the hat on. Look like he got a little roughness to him. That's to soften that roughness that we have when the last little holdout of black men being strong and the ghetto being strong is to take that from us now. To take that part from us now, we got to be soft and take whatever mess he's trying to create to us, man. That's why the brother was sitting there going, like he was getting ready to be able to take, because he know, really, he want to knock this cat out for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Even when he did it, he was like he wanted to rise up against him. You know what I mean? And that was to crush his manhood, to crush it, to make us soft like them pastors of the Christian church, to take that manhood that we got, the last bit, and make it now be soft and sweet like him.
Can I add one part, Todd, just to finish the equation?
Yes, sir.
They crush your manhood to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Like they're not crushing your manhood just to go,
Yeah.
aha, I crushed another man's manhood. The crushing of your manhood is the prelude to you sucking his penis.
Yeah.
That is the point of all of it.
That's
It's a direct plan for it, and you are going to do it. Here's the, in a nutshell, if you don't join the UPK, you're going to suck a preacher's penis. That is a fact. It is going to happen. Most of you have already sucked some preacher's penis. You've already let some pastor hug you up and squeeze your forehead and hug you and squeeze you. And when he does it, if any thought comes in your brain like this was gay, the pastor is going to say it was a lack of faith.
Yep.
If you had enough faith, you would just do it. And you black fraternity people, every black fraternity is just as gay as this Christian.
Yeah.
You all have kissed men. You all have pulled down your pants and taken a spanking. Can you imagine that, sir?
Exactly.
They went to college and paid for some man to spank their bottoms. He bent them over and spanked them on the bottom with a stick. And they called him sir. And as for more, you're the same as this preacher. And all of them are just trying to have sex with you. And you're going to have sex with another man. And if you don't like it, it's because you don't believe in the fraternity enough, or you don't believe in God enough.
Right.
Or they gas you up to tell you got too much inhibitions. You got to free yourself. Like you got to free yourself from your own manhood so that you can accept this garbage. And let me tell you something about that gay preacher right there, brother. That's what he likes to do. Like that for him, that was a sexual act that he likes to do and does that act right there. He does that act right there. And he loves doing that nasty mess that he does. And here's what else is so evil about it. Tons of you black women are sitting in these churches and you hate black men so much. You so sick in your head that you hate black men so much that you think you so stupid. You think that is a good thing that he do these things to black men. When he convinced black men to put down their masculinity and their manhood and take on some gayness, and you think it's going to benefit you, you so dumb. Because first of all them transsexuals done took over the entire sports. They're running you out of sports like crazy. And the more they can effeminize themselves, they're going to run you out of everything. They're going to run you out of being runway models. They're going to run you out of everything they can run you out of because they hate you and you so dumb, you love them. that gay preacher, that's what he likes sexually.
Yeah.
And listen, and some gay men love to like you said, emasculate men more than anything. At a time when we need masculine men more than anything else in the world. Like when you're being killed and abused, you need men, man. You need soldiers. You need men in the spirit of masculinity, man, to handle the business of the Lord, because everybody's wiping you out. Instead, they putting him on display and wiping spit all over his face. And you black women, you so dumb. You sitting in church and you dumb as a stick. You ain't even saying to yourself, yo, this ain't right. To anybody, it ain't right. Less alone to another man. This ain't right. And you supposed to be mad about, like he's supposed to, in righteousness, he's supposed to lose his position as a preacher over that. Instead, he's going to be more encouraged, and more gay people going to come pile up in that church. Most of your churches right now, you black women are like second-class citizens or third-class citizens, because you got the straights, the gays, and you on the damn bottom. You got black women walking around talking about they a whole stud sitting up in your church. They a whole stud. A woman, no rod at all, but she a whole stud now. And sitting up there over the top of you, your dumb ass sitting in church thinking you gonna get you a good husband. Like, that's a vile, vile place, man, that church, man. But I wanted to bring up real quick, Hebrew J12 said include the Prince Hall Shriners also. They in it too. West Philly for life said it might shock you. SHALAM Bunyumyun, you hit it right. He said your pastor has been taking away your masculinity, man. Okay, Ranah Israel, he was blind. He was blind. You right about that. Like, it's crazy, man, what they doing. And so fitting for this to come out on MLK Day. This MLK garbage. All this fighting, they fighting for voters' rights, which we're gonna spin into now anyway. They fighting for voters' rights, trying to repass a new voters' rights bill. Like, Donald Trump in 4 years wiped out everything that Congress ever set up. In 4 years, he damn near took over the country. But in 4 years, in less than 4 years, he totally reversed the mindsets of white America against us. And you still playing games with these people like you can fix the situation, man. Which is why, man, black men, black women, you changed more in the streets after George Floyd's death than every senator and congressman has in 50 years. You got more done, more legislation passed, more rules changed than anything else, man. And you would do even more if you would allow the Lord to rule over you. If you would allow the Lord to give you the guidance that you need, you would shake the world. You would shake up the earth, and you would do something great for you and your people. Like, this is an abomination. The black community is supposed to be furious over this cat. How you gonna have a man rubbing spit in another man's face all in his mouth and say that ain't gay sex on stage in front of you? Where is your morals, black woman? What has happened to you, man? You'd have been reduced to a degenerate. A lot of you black women, man, you look like transsexuals. You got them old cheap wigs on, eyelashes 5 feet coming off your head, all kind of funny makeup, funny colors in your hair, clothes too tight, body out of shape, big ass heels. A lot of you looking like transsexuals. You looking like transsexuals. You are a full woman looking like a man dressed up like a woman, trying to keep up the styles of these people, man. And then wonder why you can't keep a brother at home. Nobody want to be in the house with you. You being if you're willing to stand there and watch a man rub spit on another man's face and laugh and joke of it and believe that it's of God, then what man would ever want to be with you? What man would ever want to take you serious, man?
Damn right, General.
What man would ever want to be a part of your life when you look at the standard you willing to lower yourself to, and look at the standard you willing to see a man stoop to satisfy the demon that Satan came to you with in the garden? Look what you willing to do. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Can I back you up one thing, sir?
Please.
And what Commander General Yohanna is saying is so true. I guarantee you, sir, both of these men have wives. I guarantee it. Because you black women, because you're so destroyed, you're being used by homosexual men to be their beard. So now, because he has a wife, now when you say, well, obviously this is gay out, you know, there's pornos where people are obsessed with spit.
That's right.
Where they love spitting on everything, spitting on this, spitting on that. It's a sexual fetish, like feet or dressing up like a big hairy puffy come on.
You know,
The damn go watch it on HBO. They'll tell you about all of that.
And if I could, I don't want
Go
to cut
ahead.
in on you, but he rubbed that spit on that cat's face out like it was seed. That was what
That's
he
the
was
point.
doing.
It's
I'm sorry.
It's a sexual fetish.
That's what we all think. That's what we all
It's a sexual
think.
fetish.
That was seed on his
And you would be able to say he's gay if not for some black woman that went and married him.
Yes.
What's the point I'm trying to make? Never have sex with a man that is not in the UPK.
There you
Don't
go.
ever do that. Don't ever give us the sex. Have sex with us. Do not have sex with someone outside this school, because what happens? Homosexuals use you in your ignorance to throw people off the scent of the fact that they're gay.
Yes.
Because all of them are gay. And send this video to your Christians and ask your Christian mom and your cousins on Facebook and on Instagram, do you support this? I know you hate me because I'm in this cult, but is this Christianity? And when your Christians say, no, I don't believe in that, my church would never do this, then make them very depressed. I'll make everyone very depressed by saying it right now. This is the least of the denigration that I've seen done in the Christian church. Because I saw a black man whose brother was killed by the cops. I saw him hug the murderer of his brother.
There you go.
I saw that.
There you go.
I saw little kids being marching and singing while German shepherds bit their legs. And I saw them sing and accept it. The spit that this man took on his mouth is the least of what I've seen Christians do to each other to belittle one another. This is small. I saw a bailiff brush the hair of a convicted murderer who murdered a black man.
That's right.
I saw a judge get down from the bench and hug the convicted murderer because she was white. Now, your Christians are going to go, my church would never do that.
Right.
Yes, they would.
Damn right.
Yes, they would. I've seen them, the police beat them and the dogs be sick on them, and I've seen them hug them and sing. I've seen them hug murderers. I've seen people in the church, when a white boy came into the church to murder them, I've seen them stand up and hug him and pray for them and then get shot.
Yep.
So don't tell me that this video is strange. Right. This video shocks you because you're asleep, but this is the least of the evil that I've seen be done in church.
And if I could, General, just to give it up to General Myers real quick. But if I could just put a little gravy on that great steak you just cooked out, that my God, and this is supposed to let you know that this is the path that gets to those atrocities. You get to those atrocities because a low-life, disgusting piece of garbage like this preacher that slowly walks you to that point where you willing to die and forgive your murderer. And so you just, I'm done. I can't even talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
And, I guarantee that brother in all black was only there because his rib made him come there. He only there because, like General Hyman said earlier, he only there because his wife made him come to church.
Yes.
He wasn't there on his own volition. He there because his wife, he got tired of hearing her damn mouth about coming to church, or she do what they all do. If you don't go to church, then me and you not equal. We can't be together no more.
Which
so
is,
now,
go ahead.
So now he got to go to church and take this shit here, because if he don't, his woman gonna leave him.
That's right. And let me tell you something, man. A sister in the Israelite school of UPK, told me about how her father and mother was having marital problems, right? They was having marital problems. They went to the church to get counseling. The preacher gave them his counsel. The next Sunday, they came in the church as normal, husband and wife. And the preacher got up on the pulpit and trashed the brother about his marriage with his woman. and the women and this is a sister in the school, and she was in the church watching this preacher trash her father. And she said the women in the church was cheering the preacher on while he trashed her father in front of her mother and her. And her father left the church after that, and his wife and his marriage fell apart. And fell apart simply because he was so humiliated and emasculated. And you dumb black women in church, you so dumb.
Yep.
You for women that get so many degrees, you are so dumb.
Yep.
Y'all that's in them churches.
Come.
Like you get some good college degrees, but you dumb. You dumb. You got no social skills at all. You like a selfish pig. And broke up their marriage because of that, that preacher. And here's why. Because it was such an opportunity for that preacher to destroy a black man. And let's get it right, y'all. That's the point in church. The whole point in church is what Satan wants. And once again, I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all get tired of me saying this. I say this every week. But if you grew up in the hood, suffering and poverty like every last one of us in this room, that Bible, that book called the Bible is gold to you. Because it is the avenue that delivered you out of hell. And again, when you go in that Bible and you read the tool that Satan used to destroy our woman and turn her against us, it is exactly what's taught in church every Sunday. You running with this MLK bullshit, with this MLK, when that is the tool that destroyed us every time, which is emasculate this man and empower this woman. Take his spirit away, empower this woman. So what does this bastard do? He wiped spit all over this man's face. He wanted to wipe semen on his face. He did it like he was wiping semen, wiped it all in his mouth. Like he could have just smacked him if it had to be done, which of course it never had to be done. But he had to rub it on his face, like take this semen and be like a woman. It was so disgusting. And you being so carnal and stupid in church, anything that empowers you and emasculates a man, you love it.
Right.
Just like Eve loved it in the garden.
That's right.
Which is why the devil brought it to her, which is why you should understand that your Christian church is really the church of Babylon. It's really the church of the same religion that that came up against God in Sumer or Iraq 5,000 years ago. And the Lord had to get Abraham out of there because that religion went on and on to the Egyptians, to the Greeks, to the Romans, to the medieval empires, on to America, right as it is today. They are still seeking in every way to emasculate black men, and which is why empowering black men is the greatest thing you could ever do in the 20th century. It's the greatest thing you could ever do. Even what Black Lives Matter does is really sacrilege, because Black Lives Matter is really a gay organization pushing lesbian lifestyles. Even though they used the opportunity of George Floyd and others and mobilized and got millions of dollars from different philanthropists, their real agenda is a female lesbian agenda. Nobody wants to push a pro-masculine authoritarian agenda except the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
We are the house of God. We are the house of God. We don't compromise with no other gods. We don't join no other god. The God of Israel is an afro-wearing nigger God. That's who we serve.
Right,
and that's all. Okay, Salah here, y'all.
No, you're right, Jenna. You so right on that, Jenna. I remember one time something happened as a kid growing up. My pop said, we ain't going to church no more. I looked at him like, oh, yeah?
Big shout out to your pop.
And listen, and my mom was one of them church-going female. Like, she grew up in the church, like all that Baptist shit. My pop said, listen, no more. We ain't going no more. It's a done deal. And we never went again, ever as a family. Never. It was no more. The next time I stepped foot in the church was when she passed away. We had a service. That was it. But there was no more going to that church no more. He said it's done. You know what I mean? Like you said, so that type of power and authority the men need to have back in their families and their houses.
That's right.
There's only one place I know that do that. Like how you said, so that's in the I.S.U.P.K.
Yeah,
Nobody else pushes this here. No one else pushes it except for us.
And that's why, and if I could, that's why black people and our wonderful Latino brothers, you West Indian brothers, you Haitian brothers, all of you brothers, you Native Americans, that's why, listen, I don't care what your North American history say. I don't care if you worship the owl god and all of this, Native American religion and all that. We almost 2,000 years into a lie. So you can't count on what the hell you call religion. What the hell are you talking about? We done been in exile for 2,000 years. You don't even know who the hell you are, whether you call yourself Native American or not. You don't know who the hell you are. So what I'm saying is simple, that take this book, man. This book is such gold. If for nothing else, y'all get me right. If for nothing else, it is a look into a society that you are not have never been a part of in the modern times. It is an alternative view of what life should be on the earth. So much jewels are recorded in the Bible. If you couldn't have no other book on earth, get that Bible. And at least do yourself a favor. You studied in college. You studied different trades. You studied life. You on social media. Do yourself a favor. At least walk away with a complete understanding of the Bible. Whether you agree with me or not, whether you agree with my I.S.U.P.K. team or not, at least say to yourself, I studied it. I understand it. I scrutinized it. I looked at the history of it. I went to prove whether it was true or false. And this is what I discovered. And then bring them questions to us. Challenge us on it. And I guarantee you, you will find out that you're one of the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. And you are in the time that you are to be awoken and come out of this. And listen, and if you ain't smart enough to go that far, then be smart enough to understand this, that Moses parted the Red Sea and brought plagues down on ancient Egypt. And God damn it, you living in a plague right now.
Yes, sir.
Omicron.
Yes, sir.
Coronavirus.
Yes, sir.
Delta virus. And
That's
they got
right, sir.
one coming up soon. I ain't gonna say the name till it come out, but they got another one coming for you. You at least living in that much. Do your goddamn stupid ass self a favor and turn off TikTok for 5 minutes.
I don't want to come.
And gain something, man, that is so, the Most High is ironic in his love. He could have left us anything. He could have left us a supersonic weapon in the ground that we discovered to fight our enemies. He said, He could have left us some oracle, some crystal ball to look into the future. He said, Instead, he left us the records of our people, along with the prophecies of our people and the declarations that he gave us. The Bible's the greatest book on the goddamn face of the earth.
That's right, sir.
And it'll take a fool to not know that. That's all I can tell you. You understand? Give me 1 second. I'm coming back. You switch off.
Keep going. Next story.
Hundreds mark MLK Day, marching across Frederick Douglass Bridge, demand voting legislation. Marchers said they came to honor MLK.
Let's go to the next one. We'll save that one for 1 second. Go ahead. Next.
U.S. shoppers find some grocery scarce due to virus. Weather.
Yeah, we have video of that, brother. I hear about these supermarkets, brother. I ain't been in a supermarket in years, but I hear about these supermarkets. And I hear it looks like the goddamn what's that show with the zombies?
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, like the Walking Dead market. I hear there's nothing on the shelf. I was talking to Captain Yashamar out there in Dallas yesterday. He said out there, brother, it's like the Walking Dead market in there. You go in there and scrounge around for something, and it's nothing in there, which also goes back to what Commanding General Yohanna said, I think 2 years ago or last year. Stockpile food to the best of your ability, man. You have an ability to stockpile the food. You keep a little place in your apartment or your house where you have some canned goods, some water, some food, just like the ant would do in the summertime.
Yeah.
That's what the Bible says. Consider thou the ant, who have no king or ruler, but in the summertime gathereth food for the winter, man.
Yeah.
The winter is coming. So you go in there and you gather some food up. I was telling Captain Yashamar also, you brothers out there that are camp leaders, if you're able to, and if your school can sustain it, get a building. Get yourself a commercial building. It's good for the work of the Lord. It's good to have a place for your students to meet at and have a professional class. And you can get involved in the UPK's food program, and you can get free food. You can stockpile some of that food, give it to your members, and feed the public. Out there in Phoenix, they gave out 60 bags of food. It might have been 10 minutes. It might have been, the whole thing was supposed to be for half an hour. It was finished before half an hour.
Big shout out to Phoenix.
In Phoenix. So you want to do things like that because the shelves are bare everywhere. You want to say something?
Carnival concert, I can actually verify that. I'm a lead receiver at my supermarket, sir, and I talk to all the drivers that come in, sir, and they're getting ready to just quit and strike. A lot of them have quit and strike. A lot of them don't have the product. They don't have the workers. Coronavirus is just kicking ESOLs, behinds, or they tell me every day, like, well, you'd be like, you die. I'm sick and tired of this. They got me running this route and that route going all over here. That's why all the markets and everything are empty. And you should see the back room. The back room looks worse than what the shelves look like, sir. I can verify that.
Hold on one second. Note to self, stockpile single malt scotch. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
If I could, sir, it's the first ones that's going on strike, sir, is the beer and wine drivers.
Note to self, hurry up and do it.
If I could, though, just on a note, show you how desperate they are. They just passed a law in the United States, in certain states, that truckers are now exempt from all vaccines. They said it's so bad that they cannot require truckers to have a vaccine.
Wow.
They passed the law. You can look this up. They passed the law, and I believe that they passed it also in Canada. Big shout out to Barack Obama, always giving us the update. I believe that the sister always on point. Big shout out to General Kubalama. That also too that they stopped it because they said it was just too much going on. That the drivers was pissed off, like, yo, we can't be taking vaccines every time we cross state lines with a load. So they made the damn thing exempt, and now the truckers could damn near move how they want to move. You understand? And we up in the truck game. We've been in the truck game for years. And now I see why. The Lord done prepped us for this. Now we get ready to bust all out and get it on. I mean, the UPK, man, is so goddamn right now. First of all, while I'm on it, big shout out to Captain Kahuntham Yard and his team. They just secured their school in Louisiana.
That's it.
I don't know if I mentioned this last week.
Nah, sir.
They just secured their school in Louisiana. Okay. Big shout out to the Midwest, the Midwest monster of mayhem, my main man. Okay. Captain Mawakwa just secured their new location out in Chicago. They doubled the square footage. They went up to 4,000 square footage because they didn't have enough room in the old school. And they up to 4,000 square feet because once again, if you looking for God, you ain't the church right next door. That nigga's closed.
Right.
Okay? They closed. But Captain Mawakwa is securing you a new damn building to have classes, to pray to the Most High, to find your identity, to get fed, to come back together, man, to work together for outreach, to help other brothers and sisters, man, to defend yourself, to protect yourself, to raise your kids, to have a safe place for them to have a playground, goddammit, to do what the hell those that were called to do did not do. You hate me all the hell you want. At this point, with all this going on, I don't give a damn if you hate me or not. It don't even matter to me no more because I'm on the winning side.
Right.
It's obvious, even in your goddamn eyes, that I was right.
Right.
And that this work is going on in the right direction. So I don't even care anymore. It was a time when it was like, boy, they hate us, man. We trying to tell them. We trying to wake them up. Come on, man. Y'all remember? We trying to wake them up. We trying to show them. They seem to not no more. Now you don't know what the hell to do. Goddamn preachers' doors closed. They put up a banner trying to talk about revival. The banner halfway hanging down. They ain't had the revival yet. They put the revival on there. Oh, I should have took a picture of that. I saw that. I got out the car. I saw the banner. I laughed. I said, look at this silly nonsense here. Give me a goddamn break, man. And you have no idea. Once again, why are the men of the Bible written 4,000 years later? I'll tell you why. Because they're doing what we're doing right now. Yeah. They're going to write about us 4,000 years ago. Yes. I don't know about you, but a nigga going to know my name 4,000 years from now. Right, tell you right now. Yeah, Gen.YAHANNA, he was back in the Empire of America. That nigga was rolling with General Muhammad, General Mayad, General Hobbs, and all the generals. Oh, they're going to write about a nigga, man. Okay? They're going to name their children after me. Like you name Mark, Matthew, John, Peter, Paul, Yohanna, Muhammad, Micah, Hazayan.
Got him a gun.
You understand? Come on, man. Serving Yahweh Shah like it's supposed to be done. That's right. Let me give some quick big shout outs if I could. Lynn Trader, big shout out to you. Tazalaya, our sister Tazalaya, man. Beloved Tazalaya, big shout out to you.
Damn right.
Okay, Kashak Awar, Benito Canales, big shout out to you. Abdul Armstrong, big shout out to you. Sawap Ya Alaba Yum Yum, big shout out to you. My homegirl, Coco Puffy Head, Midwest. What's up going on, sis? Hebrew Jake, Petra Trader, Bobby Fagans, man. Okay, Barack Wana, our daughter and sister, holding us down. Big shout out to her and her husband. Sharab Anah, big shout out to you and your husband up there. Barack. Just Art and Paint, my sister, big shout out to you. Okay, Maraka Pop, Yashakar, big shout out to you, warrior. I got Bobby Fagan, I got Dorcas Yassaz, big shout out to you. I'm going to stop it right there. I'll get everybody else at the end, man. Just want to get y'all up in the shout out, get it going on. ISUPK.com is the website. We building it up, doing an amazing job. Big shout out to General General Kobala. First of all, General Shalamar and General Kobala Moth, both of them working very hard, rebuilding and redoing that website. It's going to be amazing. Big shout out to them also for bringing forth the bingo game, which I don't even want to tell you too much about, but Lord allow, it'll jump off this week, man. We're going to be fundraising for the bingo. Y'all come on and support that, man. Bring that cheddar on into the building. Let's take care of these officers in the 2022 and try to get this thing going forward, man. The school is growing like crazy. We done sold out 2 hotels. We got 40 people, man, that we still trying to get into a 3rd hotel. We ain't even booked the 3rd hotel yet. We trying to get them in a 3rd hotel. And then I just had a conversation this morning with Yatazak out there in Texas. I told him, yeah, man, we just trying to get the last 40 in the hotel. He said, Salakia, sir. But me and all Texas and us down here, ain't none of us booked no hotels. I said, Lord have mercy. He said, Salakia, we ain't booked no hotels yet. I said, oh my God. So that means we're going to be flooded over there. This Passover is going to be amazing. It's going to be outstanding. Love of brotherhood, man. For once in your life, black man, you're going to be able to love as much as you want your people with no conditions on it, man.
That's right.
And no conditions, and not having to love somebody else's God. You ain't got to get permission from somebody else's God to love you and yours. And you ain't got to love their people first before you love yours.
Right.
I'm sick of that, man. Nigga God all the way. I want a t-shirt. Somebody please make up a t-shirt. The nigga God. He got one.
He got one.
I'm calling him tonight.
In the Midwest,
I want that t-shirt from that Midwest, man. Okay, I'm off of it, man. Can we talk about the MLK? We there yet? Let's talk about this voting rights bill because it's so ironic that they tried to pass this voting rights bill. Let's get it on. Tell them where you going, warrior.
Khan. Hundreds mark MLK Day, marching across Frederick Douglass Bridge.
Right.
Demand voting legislation.
First of all, it is so dead on arrival that only a few hundred people came out. We could have did a protest bigger than that.
Damn right. Damn
It was a
right.
couple hundred people came out for what was supposed to be the biggest protest of all. This new civil rights bill. And here's why they had to try to pass it. They tried to pass a new civil rights bill so that because of all of the changes that Donald Trump made, all of these white supremacists who now got voted into office and who were already in office but were afraid to reveal their racist ways. Well, they don't have to do that no more. They start passing laws. You got to have ID. You can't pre-register. They got laws like you can't, nobody else can come pick up the ballots and send them in for those, what do they call them? The mail-in ballots.
Mail-in ballots.
Now they want it, the Republicans want it where you can't have somebody pick up all the mail-in ballots and then send them in. They want you to have to mail the ballot in yourself. So they got all these rules that the Republicans came up with since Donald Trump.
No voting on Sunday.
No voting on Sunday.
And you can't hand out water to people in the line.
You cannot hand out water in the line. Somebody pass out, waiting to vote. You got to let them hit the floor, and that's it. Call the ambulance. Like, talk about a monster. Talk about a monster. 400 years later. What is it? 1965, a voting right bill? 1968, 1965.
I'm not sure.
I'll say 68 to be safe. 2 to 70, 32 years plus 21 years, 32 and 21, 53. Did I got that right? 53 goddamn years later, after the first civil rights bill, you got to rewrite a new civil rights bill. 53 years later, 2 million black people incarcerated, death toll. They said Chicago killed 800 people this year. And you want me to listen to a preacher? You want me to listen to Barack Obama, who's in Chicago? 800 black people died in one city in America over the last year, 2021. 800. 800. And you want me to listen to who? Please. You a clown. You a goddamn clown. 800 died in Chicago. That's Chicago alone. Philly bust 500. Philly had the highest number of deaths it's had in decades. 500. That's 13, 14 right there. You pushing Iraq numbers already. Not to mention all the other. L.A., they robbing people on the highway in L.A. Really, lawlessness has broken down in the empire. Right. Yeah. That's the real deal. Lawlessness is broken down. Survival mode is coming. And the biggest reason, y'all jump in anytime, the biggest reason this happened is because blacks and Latinos and Native Indians lost their faith in your white Christianity. Your preacher blew smoke up their ass for years.
And spit in their mouth.
And spit in their mouth. Salakia, you right. And wipe spit, assimilate, and cum all over their damn face. And as a result, they come to find out that all that you taught them was not spiritual.
Right.
There was all a lie and all BS and just a hustle, and you broke their faith. And because you broke their faith, they don't know what to do. And as a result, they spilling out in the street. You took over their illegal drug market. That was the economics of Black America. Economics of Black America was to sell weed or sell cocaine or sell heroin. Latinos and Native Indians. You took that away. You made weed illegal. You took over the opioid trade. You basically crushed their economics. So the little bit of economics that they do have, they have to kill each other on corners to maintain. This is what's been done in America. And you telling me what church you want me to go to? What's the name of that church? It's vomit to me. It's vomit. It's vile. It's damn near it's a smack in the face to even mention it. Yeah. And listen, and once again, thank God for the I.S.U.P.K. because you shame these bastard churches like they ought to be. You did listen, a big shout out to every officer, trooper, captain, general in the I.S.U.P.K. Because you shame these churches the way they deserve to have been shamed. You gave them just what they deserve because of the way they treated black people. I don't want to get off the story. We got so much time. So all this going on, and the racists pass a bill saying we're gonna put all these restrictions on your vote. Now, Democrats ruling the Senate, the Congress right now, and have the opportunity to pass a bill right now that eliminates all of the Republican racism that they put in the bills and the bill dead on arrival on MLK Day, whom you put your hope in. Read some more if you don't mind. Y'all jump in, please.
Marchers said they came to honor MLK, protect democracy, bring awareness to voter suppression. Hundreds marched across the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge in Washington, D.C. on Martin Luther King Day and called on Congress to pass voting legislation.
I mean, if I could argue, 70-something years later, you fighting voter suppression? 70 years later, you still trying to fight for the right to equally vote. It's a joke.
70 years ago, can you imagine what technology they had? And now an average person can go to space. Can you get what that means? 70 years ago, like think about the technology you have on your phone and what they had 70 years ago. They be turning the phone out with the, calling the operator. Can I get Klondike 357? Yes.
Good.
Yes. And you still can't vote.
Let me tell you something. You said something in the restaurant the other night. Was it last night? The night before?
Night before coming.
Night before we was in the restaurant, you said something that was so heavy that everybody in Black America should know. You said all you have to do is look at these Edomites' world, and you will see what's important to them. Because they're going to put some money in what is important to them.
Yep.
And you were so right. Because the things that's important to them, they pour their money and wealth and attention to and protest and all of that. Try to stop them old nasty lesbians from having an abortion. They're going to show you what's important to them. They're going to burn your whole movement down because they're going to show you what's important. Like, go mess with all their wealth and all their programs and everything. They're going to show you what's important. But 70 years later, you can't even get voters' rights.
If I could say, that's a quote from Martin Luther King.
Get out.
Martin Luther King said that a budget is a moral document.
Come on.
It's moral, meaning whatever you're willing to spend money on, it's a testimony to what is important to you. And Black people are not important. So although space, aerospace, cars drive with what? Sun or electricity right now, right? Cars are electric. An average person can go to space. Every form of technology is light speed ahead what it was 70 years ago. You still can't vote because there is no money in the budget for you, for your freedom, for your life, for your health care at all, because a budget is a moral document and their morality doesn't allow for you to have a success. So like
over 2,000 years ago, our king said, where your heart is, there will your treasure
Shalom.
be also.
There you go.
There it is.
Once again, if I could, was you done?
No, that was it.
Once again, it's so many Jews in the Bible. You understand? Like the Bible, man. Look, if I didn't know better, man, I'd be shooting the nigga over the Bible. If I didn't know better, I'd be, you come try to get my Bible, I'd put 2 in you because of the knowledge that's in it. And you've been fooled by it. You got gay men wiping saliva on somebody's face is why you don't take the Bible as a very heavy book when it's got all the secrets. James 3 and 5, James 3 and 5, because this is appropriate to what we're dealing with right here. Like that's why. Like that Bible box, you supposed to take that Bible up like a nigga, like a crackhead, take up a shot of crack because of what's in it. And what's even more amazing is the men that have been risen up. Like these brothers in here is just regular brothers before now. But what happened to them? That book is what happened to them.
Right.
And they became something superhuman.
That's right.
Because of that book. And because of it, it changed everything. When we changed Black America in certain spaces and going to change them in even more spaces because they're going to know what we're saying is right. The Christian church will end in America. The Black Christian church, not the white Christian church, but the Black Christian church will end in America because people will wake up and see the truth. And Barakatha Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because the Lord has been on our side. Like this
Damn right,
coronavirus has helped us wake you up out of the goddamn coma you've been in.
That's right.
And open your eyes and show you what's real and what's really going on. Read it, I buy it, how y'all please. Y'all jump in anytime.
Yes, sir.
Khan. This is the book of James, chapter 3 and verse 5. Even so, the tongue is a little member.
The tongue is a little member. It's a little small member in your body. It's not even big as your hand or your arm or your leg or your foot. Go ahead.
And boasteth great things.
But it boasteth great things. I have a dream. Little boy, black boys, and little white boys will walk hand in hand. You got a white girl in a triple buck. Little white girls will walk hand in hand, you nasty lying bastard. Go ahead.
Khan. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
That tongue kindles a great fire. Like that civil rights movement is a great fire got kindled by that little tongue that came out of that brother's mouth. And that fire have devoured us in the last 70 years. We were so much better before integration. Oh, the black HBCUs. Big shout out to Deion Sanders trying to bring back the old way. Yeah, come on with it, you die, please.
If I could, sir, it wasn't in the stories. He got 3 more recruits.
No,
and a couple transfers. So.
I might send him some security. I might have to send him a damn. I might have to send him in an insertion team, man, in the back, and make sure he's safe. Go ahead, General.
As I was leaving to come to the school tonight, I think my rib was watching that Thurgood Marshall movie.
Yeah.
As I'm leaving, they had just won some case, and the cat told him on the phone, and he's smiling. He's sitting. He look over at the whites only water fountain. He looking. He's smiling because they had just won some case. He ran some water in some cup out of the whites only joint and drank and felt such pride. The look on his face, it was so proud. I said, I mean, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I said, why did we feel such pride to go behind them and sit on their seats? And you know what I'm saying?
Come
it
on,
was horrible, man.
Like, my God. You know what I mean? Like that was like all this court case and fighting was a drink out of their water fountain. Oh my God. Go ahead, Warrior. What you good? You good? Like, my goodness, you right? Like, I can't even explain. Like, that was, go ahead, out. Was that it on that? You got it all? You know, how great a matter, was there more in that verse? Like, what greater matter have, no, read the last part, behold.
Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
A little fire kindle a great matter. And that's what's happened to us in this place, man. This man got up in them 60s, man, used us, telling us this was about civil rights when this was about us starving, trying to get jobs. That's why we marched on Washington, man, for jobs. And it was used to try to push us into integrating with these people, man. You understand? Big shout out to Bridgeton, New Jersey. Bridgeton, New Jersey is filled with black farmers who are struggling against the empire because they're trying to move white people in to take over their farmlands. And these black farmers, after the civil rights movement, many of these black farmers did not go back to the South where they were from. Instead, they went north to Bridgeton, New Jersey, where farmland was cheap, damn near free, because nobody lived in Bridgeton, New Jersey. Niggas don't know where Bridgeton is right now. 20 minutes from Philly. They still don't know where Bridgeton what? Where that at? It's right outside of Philadelphia. And they went up in the Bridgeton, these black farmers and stayed there because they were there and in Maryland because they had come all the way to Washington with the last quarter in their pocket in the hopes that they would walk away with a job, never got the job, and now had to do what the only thing they ever knew how to do was the sharecrop and the farm. And went up to Bridgeton, New Jersey and settled the whole Bridgeton filled with black farmers. White people didn't even know they was there. And they farmed, man, and made money and built their families up and all this. Now they coming in there trying to take over that area, man. The price of the land going up, all kinds of issues going on. But my point being, they struggle to do that, man. And we need to be awake. It's time to awake. The Lord is bringing the plagues on them right now. What are you waiting on? Wake the hell up, man. And see what's happening around you, black man, West Indian man, Latino man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. See what's happening around you. So that was it on that scripture, y'all.
Can I say something on that?
Please,
Listen,
General,
and
please.
just like how, all this falls to the hands of the Christian church. All the things that we're going through right now, all the falling of the black community, the degradation, the way they're treating us, all this is because them so-called prophets in the church are like foxes.
Yes.
Their agenda is not about the people or the Lord's people. It's about their particular lust, which is why how it was heavy when they brought up the story about that cat in Pastor Todd or whatever, rubbing that spit on that brother's face and was grinning and smiling like someone's joy involved in it. It wasn't about the Lord.
Right.
It wasn't about nothing about the Lord and you got to deal with the Lord. It's about his lust. His particular lust, his fetish. And that's all the pastors, man. They dropped the ball on taking care of God's people. But instead, they followed their own particular lust and their own deviance for themselves. That's the issue.
And get me right on this.
Yes, sir.
The pandemic showed they was incapable.
I don't even hear no pastor talk about the pandemic. I ain't heard nobody talk about the pandemic but us. Like they don't have an answer for the pandemic. You don't see them talking about it on talk shows. You don't see nothing going on about the pandemic because they don't have the answer. And they don't got the answer because God is not with them. But what they're doing is what always work on black people. Black people love a show. You love a show, a dance, some cat saying some stuff to make you feel good. Y'all love that garbage. And they do that, and they give it to you because it's always worked on you. But like how Commander GEN.YAHANNA said, man, it's time to wake up. It's time for the games and the foolishness is over. Yeah. It was over. Like, as a community, except for the I.S.U.P.K, we ain't ready for the battle of the Lord. The black community not ready for the battle of the Lord. Y'all worry about games and smiling and dancing and singing and the cats rubbing spit in your damn face like it's of the Lord. Instead of getting ready for the battle the Lord got prepared for us, man. It's time to change. It's time to wake up. Time now to really put your spirit on the Lord, man, and do what he say do. You know what I mean? Keep questioning these cats and these so-called churches about the evil they doing. Ask that cat Todd. So, what you did with that spirit, was that of God? Was that really of God? Yeah, ask him.
And if I could, to add to what you're saying, and that's why black women, Latino women, and Native Indian women, you better get your head right because once again, you women be knowing, you be seeing through the BS. A lot of it, like the black woman is carnal. She see when you be sitting up there trying to run a game, she read through your game. She see already you hustling, you doing something. She might let it pass because she want to hear them smooth words. But she already know what the deal is. And you should take a stand against these pastors. Yeah. You're supposed to be upset and indignant at the fact that he would do this gay performance in front of you. You're supposed to throw him the hell up out of that church. You're supposed to be like, we want him out of here, man. And that's why you can't build right, man. You can't. He turn you into a monster, man, before your eyes. Go ahead, please.
Just if I could piggyback off of both of y'all, like the church, they don't know what the hell they doing. And Commander GEN.YAHANNA been teaching us and telling the world this forever, since the 80s. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what they're doing. Like how I said, they don't talk about that pandemic. Why? Because if they do, they got to explain why the God that sent this pandemic don't match with their all-loving God. They got to explain that this is a whole nother God. It ruins their business. Yes. You understand? To talk about the truth about this God sending these plagues, man. It ruins their entire business, and so they shut their mouth like they ought to. We'll handle this. This is our job anyway. So
damn right, General. Damn right. Damn right. Damn right.
True.
You're right, Joe.
What you holding for me? Did I ask you to get Daniel for me? You got it? Did we read it? Read it.
It's like even the sodomite pastor, he apologizing now for the whole spit.
Oh, is it?
He apologized, saying he went too far. He just wanted to make it the word of God come alive and all this mess.
He wanted to make the word of God come alive. Wrap this on your name. Ooh, nasty bastard, man.
You know what? He like every sinner, if I could, sir. He like every sinner. Once you get caught up in your sin and you do it, and that demon going, you like, oh, I done made a mistake. He like every nasty, filthy sinner that get caught up with them demons inside of you, and when you do something, and when it's over, you're like, oh my God, I made a mistake. No, you meant to do that, because you could not control your lust. You meant to do that. Yeah. That's why you rubbed it on that man's face the way you did. And listen, that apology ain't sincere. It's only because you're afraid now you're gonna lose your money. That's what you're afraid of.
You know how much planning had to go into that? He had to plan that out, days in advance. He knew exactly what he was doing, like you said. You understand? Yeah. Go ahead,
If I could, just for the record, also, you're gonna need a little more than an apology. You spit in my face.
Yeah,
I don't know
if you survive it.
Yeah. You might not get to it.
People make mistakes. I hear you. Listen, maybe you spit on me by accident. Just flat out spitting in my face. I don't know what an apology gonna do, sir. That's all I can tell you.
I'm standing right there. You might not even have a chance.
What's that cat supposed to say? You say sorry? That cat you didn't rub the spit in his face. What are you gonna say now? Oops. My bad. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, I'm trying to tell you, Dylan. And I'll be sitting right there, and you be hollering, I ain't, sir.
Let me get that off your mouth. I'm sorry.
That's good enough. And that's a direct result of Martin Luther King and that so-called dream. Right. Because of them lies and that filth he pushed for his personal agenda is why you have what you have today. But it's why the Lord mocking him right now. The Lord said he will mock you. You understand the book of Proverbs for the evil you're doing. That's why I was on so few. And on this day, they rejected them bills they rejected because the Lord is mocking him now. And mocking you in the Christian church because of the choices you made that's against God. That's what I said.
No, that's right. That's right. Come on, hit me with Daniel right quick.
Y'all
jump in anytime.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
And that's what that is. Just like y'all been bringing out, that's witchcraft. Yeah. Just prospering in his hand. And that's why you black women, man, help your nation out, damn it. Yeah. Don't help your people out. Sit up there, let this cat sit up there and disrespect the whole soul of a black man because you got such a lust to get back after your little high school boyfriend that took a little bit of that coochie and now you've been mad at him for 40 years. You want to get it back at him for 40 goddamn years. So you glad to see a black man get punked into sodomy. Now have a little humanity in you, man. Forgive that old Negro. He was in high school just like your dumb ass was. Yeah. And he made a mistake. Forgive him, man. Let's start anew and stop this man from doing what he's doing. Come on with it, y'all.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
He done magnified himself in his heart. The philosophy of the empire, this MLK philosophy, man. Like this is a very unholy day we living in, man. And I thank the Lord that it was only a couple hundred people protesting. Because even though, you know, it would be nice if they get the civil rights bill, it's not as important as if we get our identity back. Like we could do more with our identity and brotherhood and sisterhood than they could ever do with a civil rights bill. I don't give a damn what the voting rights bill had in it. We could help us way better. Go ahead, Op.
And by peace shall destroy many.
And through peace, Op, he destroys many. Many. This civil rights thing that led to abortion rights, that led to all kind of rights. Every heathen that came in here and set themselves up. This gay rights, you know what I mean? This peace have destroyed many of us following after this peace that they claim we should be looking for. Like Muhammad brought out earlier, you sitting up there in the courthouse forgiving the murderer of your own brother, of your own flesh and blood brother that you grow up with. This white murderer murders him. And all you want to do is go to court and hug the nasty broad. Judge want to get off the podium and hug her. You are a slave, and Christianity is a demonic religion. That's it. Yeah. Anytime you a judge and the first time you come off the bench to give consolence to the murderer is when it's a white woman killing a black man. Christianity is demonic. And no black man, and it's why no black men is in church. You got nothing but gay men and black women in church, and there is a reason. You sit up there and lie to yourself. That's because a lot of black men don't want to adhere to God. You a damn liar. Thousands of them following me.
That's
What
right.
the hell are you talking about?
That's right, sir. Damn right.
Why are you acting like they don't want to follow God? They want to follow God. They earnestly looking for God. They in these classes asking questions about God, questions about the Bible. They meeting us on the street in all weather, asking questions about the Lord. They online with us right now by the hundreds, asking about God, chiming in on the things we talking about. What are you talking about? They do want to understand God, but it's you. It's you and your hatred of black men and the upholding of a Babylonian evil religion. Come on, General. Anytime you ready,
I was just gonna see.
Please.
I know you saw that video of that Christian woman accused her daughter's father for molesting and raping them.
I didn't
when
see
they was
that.
young.
Oh,
you commented on, remember?
Woo!
And her first.
If we could find that one with Ayanna Van Zant.
I posted it on my
husband.
Facebook.
Check General Mark Holler's page, brother. If you can pull that video up, it is amazing piece of work. Go ahead, General.
It's like, you know, it just shook me. Like her first response, like this is the chance to repent and do right from what you did to this man and your children all these years. And she asked the woman, "Do you want to say something to him? You know, for this because you failed the lie test." He said, "Well, if you knew it was a lie, how come you ain't fight harder?" I said, "What?" What?
It was amazing.
It
was amazing.
That is Christianity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, hit me one more time, all right? To do us. Go ahead, General. I'm sorry. Go on, say it.
That was if he get in the video, and you know what I'm saying, and the woman had to check her, the host of the show. Like, wait a minute, hold up. What the hell? You want him to fight for a lie to convince? No, she said you want him to convince you that your lie was a lie that you created. I said, what? No, she don't get it.
Like she charged, if I could, General,
yes, sir.
It was so heavy. I hope we can pull the video. It was so heavy how he said it broke him what she had done. She had to, just so you know, y'all know the story. She turned her 3 children. She accused their father of raping these 3 girls. Yes, and Ayanna was trying to bring them all together, and the girls is angry with the mother and said to the mother,
the girls knew, of course.
the girls found out, knew it was a lie. He never touched them.
Right.
Yeah.
And the girls said to the mother, we needed you to say what you did. Like they were putting it to the mom. And the father said it broke him that he was accused of having sex with his 3 daughters. We're going to play the tape. And brother, it was amazing how this insolent bitch told him, you can sit right there. Told him, why didn't you fight harder for them? Like it broke this brother. And it was, and to her, in her mind, and this is a lesson for every young brother and sister out there whose father is not around. You learn this lesson that he's not around because your mother used the power of the white man to break him or to stop him from coming to raise you up. You understand? And which is why God is smarter than dumbass man.
That's right.
And why he said, why he said he doesn't allow a woman to usurp authority over a man. That's why he put it in Paul's mouth to say it.
Right.
For this very reason. But we're going to play the tape. But it was heavy what you brought out. Let's go into it. Come on, while we got
and of course we by the wife, but he said he was looking at her soul too. Because this shit had broke him 25 years.
25.
This lie lived. He said, I can't forgive her because I know it ain't sincere. She knew what she did there. Looked in his eyes the whole time. He was looking inside of this man. And she looked like she was full of demons.
And listen, and to where Ayanna, who I have no faith in, can give you good counsel. So I have no faith that she know what the hell she's doing. Even she had to be like, well, damn, hold on. Play the tape for her. Play the tape.
Damn, the Christian church.
We're going to tell the truth. Mr. Monzel, in your lie detector
turn it up if you can. For us in here. I know they did.
Did you have any sexual contact with any of your three daughters? You said no. And the lie detector said there was no deception.
Yes, thank God. Thank God.
Look at the girl. Look at the daughter. She said, "Thank God."
How does that feel for you?
She
And
said,
that your
"Thank
daughters
God."
know it.
Well, I felt they already know.
You felt they always did know. And didn't speak it because
They didn't know no better. They wasn't told no different.
Look at her.
Miss Yvonne took a lie detector test.
This is the church.
And said, did you make up or exaggerate any stories with the intention to harm Manziel? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive. Then he asked you, did you say something to the effect of, I'm going to make sure you're never happy again? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive.
She lied.
Yep.
So Miss Yvonne has acknowledged that her story about you touching your children in a sexual way was not true. So Miss Yvonne, is there anything that you wanted to say to Mr. Manziel?
Why didn't you fight for him harder if you knew you didn't do it?
And what is it that he could have said
Are you kidding?
that would have made you
bump
not
that
believe?
back one more time? She's
That
like, she said he broke it. He say that he broke it. She said, why didn't you fight for them harder? Like, in other words, you had to prove that you had to destroy. It would show you that's a destructive demon.
Yeah.
That's that same demon in the tombs. Because in other words, she's saying, why didn't you wipe me out for the sake of these girls?
Mm-hmm.
Like she stood in the way like a full-fledged demon. Like, you got to kill me to get your kids because I'm going to lie so horribly to destroy you. Now, Muhammad, I know there's some old psychological shit this is made of.
Yes, it is.
Because that shit is that could be studied.
Yeah.
And it's in you black women in church.
Yeah.
This ain't uncommon in you.
General, I got a story about this. I mean,
This ain't uncommon.
It's damn near similar. It was like I had my uncles and my grandmother. She had one of my uncles and had another one. One of them was sick, and because my other aunt couldn't have no boys, the uncle couldn't have no boys. They took one of my uncles and raised him as his. Well, my father done found out and told him, like, that's not really your mom. Your mom is really your aunt, XYZ. And when they told the truth about what they did, there was no apology. What happened was they whooped everybody behind and was mad at them for telling the truth. And that one brother, my uncle, who they lied to, his life went downhill from there. I mean, directly after that day, he got in the gangs, back and forth out of prison, ended up dying of HIV, AIDS. You know what I mean? Because he ended up becoming a homosexual. You know what I mean? All that because of the lies they told. And they take them lies like that to the grave and don't apologize for it. They don't apologize for it.
Mm-hmm.
Same way this woman lied on that man and said he molested them kids when he never did. They do the same thing all over the place. And they're innocent and don't care about lying. They don't care. And my great aunt was the head of her church. There was a couple of them around. And she sat on a board that hired the pastors back and forth for their church. It's that Christian church. And them lies in that Christian church that got to be dismantled that's destroying us, man.
Listen, that was heavy. Real quick, if I could. Just Art and Paint always holding us down. She said this. She said, my dad took my mom to court to get full custody over me. Big shout out to your dad, Just Art.
Damn right.
I likes that Negro right there. That's
Damn
a
right,
real
General.
brother.
Damn right.
Big shout out to Barack Wana out in Canada, wife of General Kubala Mob. She said this. That's what they always say on paternity court. Even when the child isn't his, they still blame him.
If I could,
Come on.
The disorder is called, these women are psychopaths.
Damn.
That's what it is by
Now,
definition.
General, now you got to be exaggerating. Now, come
Everybody
on
can
now.
just look it up.
You going too far now.
Okay.
Now, come on.
Okay, you've heard of psychopath and sociopath.
Yes.
Right.
A psychopath is someone that can kind of exist in society and they have some limited form of conscience. A sociopath has no conscience, meaning those are your serial killers.
And your Christians.
There you go. Like, I mean, it's someone that can just murder people and they feel like a lion eats a giraffe. It's not I murdered a person. Well, a psychopath, okay, can go to church and have a job. A sociopath is a real murdering, truck driver, Jeff Bundy.
Yes.
But there are a lot of people who are psychopaths, meaning they have a limited conscience. It's like small. They might not kill babies and stab hookers, but they don't really have a conscience. And having a conscience without a conscience, it's a mental disorder. And there are so many Black women and Hispanic women who learn from our oppressors' women who have no conscience. And so if you wrong them, then there is nothing that they feel they cannot do to you. Nothing. Then there's another person who's a sociopath that you don't have to wrong him. He just likes to kill, and he's going to kill whether you're nice, whether you're mean, it doesn't matter. But Black women, just like our oppressors' women, they're psychopaths, a lot of them. And so you've done, what did the white man say? Hell hath no fury.
Right.
Like a woman scorned.
Right.
Because there are people that, brother, you went out and cheated on them. You're going to jail for child molestation that you didn't do.
That you didn't
and you can
do.
be asking them like, why you do this? They feel right about it. Because they have a limited conscience. And if you drop it a little bit, they be murdering prostitutes at truck stops. Like if you just drop it,
just knock it down.
just knock it down and take
a little bit, it's on.
That's it.
Man, Jacob Brown said this. They learned this behavior in church.
There you go.
Jacob Brown, listen, you give me hope, brother. There you go. A big shout out to Princess Born. She said the tongue. The tongue. Big shout out to Trooper Ayash, Allah, Most High in Christ. Coco Puffyhead said, I have a cousin who ain't my blood, and he don't know. He 38. My mom told me they whole story the week she died. Damn.
I was about to tell you that this is making
Coco
TV
Puffy,
and the news like it's shocking. This is common.
Common.
This is all the time. I've heard it hundreds of times. Hundreds.
And we got to escape it. We got to pick up the book and escape it. And once again, the Most High, like I know y'all about sick of me, but the Most High, the Most High done stepped out the fourth dimension and showed us what's in this book.
Yeah.
You understand? Starting back in 1969. He showed us this book. And right on up to these amazing teachers we got today, General Muhammad, General Mayat, General Haas, and all the generals, captains, so forth on. Like, this is gold. The scriptures say the truth is like a treasure. Christ said it's like a treasure you bury. You take this treasure and bury this treasure, man. Bury this treasure inside you and pour this thing out to every brother and sister, man, of the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel, because it is the remedy for every failure that has happened in the Christian church, down to goddamn voting rights bill. It is the antidote to it. It is such a treasure trove of knowledge of how to survive in this evil, backward ass country where your woman will charge you with raping your 3 daughters. And after you are broken and destroyed and lived a life without those daughters and have ruined their lives because they didn't have a father, you will get up and say, why didn't you vote? Why didn't you fight harder? I'll tell you why. Because America is ruling over us. And if I chop your goddamn head off, they're going to put me in the penitentiary for 30 years.
Yeah.
So I have to be broken and walk away and suffer the loss of your evil false accusations, man. You understand? And listen, and we highlight this in the I.S.U.P.K. because we want you to see the evil so that you could take a stand against the evil. That's what the truth is about. And if you take that stand against that evil, then you will begin to see the difference between righteousness and evil, because you will be living in the righteousness. You want to see a real taste of righteousness? I'm going to show you how you get a real good taste of righteousness. Join me in Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 14th, 15th, and 16th for the Lord's Passover unleavened bread. Come, let me show you some brotherhood and sisterhood that you've never seen before. Let me blow your goddamn mind with brotherhood and sisterhood. I require it in here. Christ required it of us, and every captain and officer general, captain, and officer requires it in here, and it lives. And it is a different world and planet from the one you've been living in. And it is amazing to experience, and you should be a part of it, man. And you need it now more than ever. I'm going to ride one more story before we get out of there. We well over the time, but I got to mention this. Y'all jump in. Come on, y'all. Give me one more for the road for us, man. I hope you had a good time with me. I'm going to give some shout-outs before you say it, if I could, y'all. This is the same positive crew. Big shout-out to Sister Sharara. Nah, that's the yak working, y'all. Yahweh, you understand, holding us down. Jacob Brown, Officer Aita Zawan, big shout out to you. Damn right, sir. Barack Wana again. Wonderful holding us up. Obadiah Zeph Israel out of the UK. I believe you in the UK. From the UK, that's right. Holding us down. Operations Intelligence holding us down, man. Coco Puffy Head, man, close to my heart. Out of the Midwest. Big shout out to you. Eugene Cage, big shout out to you as well. Who else we got in here? John Johnson, man, another diehard, always down with us to the end. Greg Neal, man, family in the house. You understand? Big shout out to you. Caribbean holding us down. Isaiah War, always been rolling hardcore in this truth, just music. Another big shout out to you. Trooper Ayasha Allah, another warrior down with us. Princess Born, close to my heart, my baby girl, holding it down. Big shout out to you, Coco Puffy Head. I got you in there. You understand? Who else did I mean? Bobby Fagans, big shout out to you. Hebrew Jake 12, big shout out to you as well. Greg Neal again holding us down. Byron German, I'm familiar with you as well, but you down with us now, holding us down. My wonderful, wonderful daughter, Just Art and Paint, my baby girl, holding us down. Coexist, always been rolling with us. Big shout out to you. So what ya Allah but yum, man, what's going on as usual? I'm going to stop right there, man. Abdullah Armstrong, man, holding it down, man. Listen, our brotherhood, our understanding of the scriptures, our coming together, our reason. The Lord said, let us reason together, man. This is going to change everything. We're going to come out the fog. We're going to come out the lies. They make it like you got to go 4-year degree to get an understanding of all these things. When the Lord have it was here before the college was here. It was already part of the nation before the college. It was already discovered because the Lord poured it in the hearts of men before the college was here. We can fix us. We can do something amazing with us. We can change the world with us. We already changed the world for every negative reason. Let's change it for something positive. Let's make them recognize. The Lord said this knowledge will be our wisdom. I can go on all night. I can go to the sun come up about so many ways I can talk about this. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to give it to I.S.U.P.K so he can drop this knowledge so we can get up off this thing, man. So y'all can get up out of here and, not have to listen to me all day.
It's a pleasure. You know what I mean?
Moses Christ, get it in. Please.
Protests in New York as eviction moratorium due to end.
Listen, I feared this. I feared this for the last year.
So you spoke about
this. Moses Christ, that they end the moratorium on these evictions, man, and destroy black people in the middle of. They're gonna wait till it's snow outside. They're gonna wait till the snow is on the ground and shame our black people. That's why you officers in the U.P.K, man. Listen, I know y'all in different cities, man, and dealing with different hardships and struggles. Yo, you hold your ground and hold your office, man.
Right,
you understand? You hold that damn pansy pit you in right now. You stay in that foxhole and you fight that enemy as hard as you can because these people are going to need it. Yeah. And you're going to be called up. You're going to go to different cities and they need you to hold it down because nobody else will do it, man. Everybody else will let them die on the vine and they deserve to live. They don't deserve this suffering after fall. We deserve to be punished. We broke the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. We deserve to be punished. But we didn't deserve to be punished for 400 years. We didn't deserve to lose our identity. We didn't deserve to be wiped out as a people. We didn't deserve that, man. Get me that scripture if you can find it for me where the Lord said, I punished them and you took them further. You know the one I'm talking about? Jeremiah. Huh? All right, pull that up. But in the meantime, I need somebody to finish reading the story. Come on with it, y'all. I'm getting up off it. Y'all jump in anytime. Come on.
Isaiah 47.
Go ahead, Doc.
About 100 protesters turned out in Manhattan Friday to demand the extension of a moratorium on rental evictions in New York State. In New York, a statewide day before it was due to end. The moratorium granted in spring of 2020 by then Governor Andrew Cuomo has been regularly extended since then, but Governor Kathy Hochul has
the new governor, now that they got him out, she ready to bring in the so-called Jew, as usual, down with the so-called Jew who owns damn near all the real estate in New York, and certainly damn near all the real estate that black people are in, except for public housing. They want to end the moratorium. And she's down with them. That might have been the reason they got rid of Cuomo and brought all them charges on him for the sexual stuff, because them so-called Jews want to grind you into powder. Go ahead, and then you're gonna tell me I'm the racist. I don't want to. I want to speak against them. Oh, GEN.YAHANNA, you're a racist. You're against the white Jews. Stop killing me in mine. Stop doing us so damn evil. Go ahead, Salaki. Y'all jump in, please.
Wakan. And sir, if I could, this is the fault of the Christian church, man. Once again, man. Like, their job is to be shepherds for the people of God, man. They not. All this going on, they supposed to be able to stop at the helm of this head. Talking about it, bringing it out, and stopping it. But instead, they caught up in their own particular lust they got, and that money they getting from the oppressor instead of helping God show the people, man.
They got the money to fix it.
Yeah, cut them. They got the power to stop this, sir. Yes.
They can stop this.
And if I could, sir, it's such an act of malpractice not to warn black people about this. What do they call it again?
Moratorium,
because this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
This is unconstitutional for them not to allow these landlords to make their money. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That's right.
They're supposed to be able to make money by throwing you in the street. And to not let them do it, some court is going to deem it unconstitutional, because that landlord, he has bills and he has to pay them.
That's right.
He has to pay his bills, but he's not allowed to earn money if he rents apartments. Some court eventually is going to say this is unconstitutional. And guess what? When they kick you out, the new renter has to give 3 months rent.
That's right.
He's going to get 3 months rent. If your preacher has not been telling you, you should have been saving your money.
Yes.
If you are not paying rent because you're in some place in New York and you don't have to pay rent because of COVID restrictions, you should be saving your money, not spending it on God knows what idiocy you've spent your money on. Because once it's over, they're going to go to court and they're going to say, give me the rent. This is unconstitutional. And when you don't have it, the new tenant has 3 months. And you're going to live in a tent city. They're everywhere. You're going to get a tent and live outside along with a great portion of your people. And your preachers should have been saying this with the PPP loans. And the blessings you think rain from down from Jesus that really are going to end you up in jail and living in a tent city.
Meanwhile, that he's trying to rub, damn near trying to rub semen on your face. Like, it's, you right. You so right, Doc. It's like we are not bad leadership. It's sad. It's sad. Right now, they got 250,000 evictions on the docket. If they let it go through, 250,000 households will be in the street this week. 250,000. Like boy, oh boy, oh boy. Like, that is inhumane. In the middle of January with snow on the ground. 250,000 families going to be put out in the street. And what is your church going to do? You think they're going to go open up their coffers and bring out the money? You think the preacher going to say, look, I'm going to go and trade in my Rolls Royce because the people is in the streets. I'm going to trade in my Rolls Royce, man, get the cash and get out here and try to feed it. That's what you think he's going to do? That's what you think that low-life piece of dog meat is going to do? Shame on you, man. Shame on you, black women. You failed, man. You failed. Give me some more. More of the story if you got more.
Sir. It says Kathy Hochul, who has declined to do so after it is due to expire on Saturday.
See, it was due to expire on Saturday. They fighting to stop it. That means you would have been out. You could start getting put out for as soon as Tuesday morning. After the MLK holiday, the courts are back open. They can start putting you out in the street right after the MLK day. Oh my God, they love doing you so dirty. By the end of this week, 250,000 of our people could be in the streets in Brooklyn with the so-called Jew strutting up the block, putting new tenants in them apartments.
Yep.
Like you should know, you should want to escape slavery.
Okay.
We should be out here trying to find ways. You wealthy, those of you that black and wealthy among black people, you supposed to be finding ways, man, to open up corporations that free you from liability and start to house your people. You understand? Don't you know what a person puts in their mouth influences their decisions, man? If every single thing that black people and Latino people and Native Indian people have to get from the slave master, then the slave master dictates how their mind works.
Yep.
But if they was getting everything from you, then guess what? The slave master couldn't dictate what he wanted. You would dictate what you wanted to happen in this society. Yeah. That's why big shout out to LeBron and them brothers, man. Colin and them that stood up, man. Big shout out to them. They made a major sacrifice and took a humongous chance on poor, ignorant, uneducated blacks and Latinos, man. And by goodness, we should show them that they made a good investment.
That's right, sir.
We should show them that they didn't just support a bunch of greedy, grubby, low-life blacks and Latinos. That we should show them that they supported a people that seek a higher dignity and self-respect and that seek to understand the Most High in Christ, man. You understand? That's what we should be showing them. You got more? So that's it. So listen, we're going to have to get up out of here, man. We done ran well over the time, almost a half hour over the time. Listen, I want to invite you, man. Please come join me. Please come join me. April 13th, 14th, and 15th, and 16th. We're going to be in Cocoa Beach, Florida, showing our full ass, okay, in brotherhood and SHALAM and sisterhood, slaughtering lamb, going on boat rides, doing fishing trips, beach parties, children's parties, getting leaning on the best yak in the world, rolling in a brotherhood and sisterhood you have never experienced in your cotton picking life. Join me in April in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Go to ISUPK.com, click on the Passover celebration, pay that $200. Listen, it's worth it just to see the brotherhood and sisterhood, just to experience something you never experienced, regardless of what you're going to eat and drink and all of that. Just that alone. You've been a brother, man, living in America and always look to seek to be around brothers and sisters that care. Wanted some sincere brothers, always roll with old flaky ass cats that's only good when the time is good. You understand? And left you out there when it wasn't. This the place to get. You want to find some brothers that care about brothers who they don't even know. That's why I love the brothers play that tape. That tape they be playing to me down in 12 and G. When I tell that brother, I don't know you. I never met you before, but you are black land. I live that. And so do all the 12 tribes of Israel in the I.S.U.P.K. I don't know you. I never met you before, but you are a black man, a Latino man, a Native Indian man, just like me. And it's worth something. And you should join us, man, and experience, man. Bring your family, your children, man. Let us build something that's greater than us and watch the Most High be moved by it. And we'll do something great. This is the I.S.U.P.K. Thank you for joining me and spending your time with me this evening. And my brothers, man, heavy hitters in the building. General Muhammad, General Mayat, General Hazayan, man, Officer Yadiah on the helm, my main man, Ibad Hayah, holding us down, man, in the building. I'll see you next time, fam, live on the UPK, y'all. Shalom.
I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you and your
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we talk that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
It's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord of Lords.
Control your dishes, pots, and sports knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment and a hotel. You know what I mean? Yeah.
This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grades. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.